Hi, my name is Arturo Kishin. I'm here to present you my final delivery for the physics key activity, which I call optimizing golf. And why golf? Well, because I play it and it depends on a lot of external variables, and I want to make it less complicated and more consistent so I can play better and I can maximize my distance, which in a specific club, which is a driver, and also eliminate variables and lower the human error, make my swing and the swing path and the golf path more consistent. For the sake of this experiment, I will be using two physics concepts, which is Bernoulli's effect, which is the difference of air pressures between up in the object and down in the object and how it affects it aerodynamically, and also the Magnus effect, which is the difference of how in this case, the ball drags the air in different directions and it creates different paths. For example, if the ball drags air towards forward, it will be considered topspin and it will drag the ball down and create more spin towards forward, and it creates different paths between the how the air is around the ball. I will be having a lot of independent variables, but it will be converted into control variables because of the software I will be using, and the dependent variables will be spin rate, which will be measured in RPMs, and carry distance, which refers to the amount of yards the ball flies from the moment it is hit with the driver to the moment it is first bounced into the ground. And Trackman is the golf simulator, is the golf intelligence simulator that I'll be using. It models the relationship of the paths from my swing path and the golf path it is created, and models and simulates all the numbers that a golf ball will naturally have in the air and also when it bounces, and the amount of speed my swing generates through the ball. For this experiment, I made 3 shots first, leaving all other as control variables and leaving the swing path as the independent variable. And the swing path referred to the relationship between my swing and the position of the ball in the horizontal plane. For example, getting from the inside to the outside, it would be considered a positive swing path. 20 shots, leaving the attack angle as an independent variable, and attack angle referring to the relationship between my swing and the position of the ball in the vertical plane, which will be, for example, hitting the ball downwards will be considered a negative attack angle. And finally, 15 shots with changing the dynamic loft, which is the amount of degrees I get in through the ball in the moment I hit it. And a medium golf dynamic loft will be considered between 11 and 12 degrees, even though the driver already has 9 degrees, but we can change it with the movement of our wrist. Uh, Finally, these are some results that I gathered. There's the swing path and the amount of spin rate and the distance it generates with that amount of spin rates. And the average is what I have taken for my conclusions. And there's a lot more tables, but I couldn't gather it here together in the presentation. The result is that after 55 shots, we need a positive attack angle which will generate a higher launch and less friction because the ball is staying in the club much less time and grabbing less spin, which will generate more carry distance and more distance overall. A positive swing path, which refers from the inside out in the horizontal plane, which will maximize the ball speed because it's dragging less air. And an optimal dynamic loft, which will be between 11.5 and 12.3 degrees, and because it maximizes the relationship between apex, which is the highest point in the trajectory of the ball, and carry, because you cannot, not even if you lesser the amount of degrees, it would not maximize the amount of height the ball has, and drags less air and maximizes the RPMs and the distance overall. In the end, always try to disprove your theory, not to prove it, because if you try to prove your theory, you're already creating facts before you test it. So it's not a good approach towards it. And also expect to do more tries than to plan it, because you always have to do more, because you can never know what will fail in your test. You can never be so theoretical, and eliminate as much variables as you can to control the environment as much as possible. and just try to control all the outside factors so that it could be as precise as possible, and finally enjoy it because it will have more fun having the experiment, and also you would have better results. And thank you. That was my exposition. Here's the bibliography. Thank you.